Get out to the ball game.
Good morning. Welcome to Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Today, as we get you caught up on the news and headlines of the Tuesday, July 21st, July 20th. Damn, that is the second time I've done that today. July 20th. And we're going to get rolling with the big news of the day because there was some news that broke out that the Mannings, Peyton Manning and Eli Manning, are both going to be in the booth for Monday Night Football starting this fall, 10 games a year. Now, it's not going to be your traditional broadcast. It is going to be the Mannings probably sitting around, I don't know, on the couch, talking the game, but not necessarily getting into the game like your typical broadcast would, because typically we know the broadcast would end up being, if you had Peyton and Eli in the regular broadcast booth with a play-by-play guy, whoever you want to name, they don't seem like that's what they want to agree to. They want to come in, because I believe if they really wanted it, they could have taken anybody's job. If the Mannings wanted to come in, they could have taken anybody's job. They possibly could have even taken Tony Romo's job, essentially. They're going to be that popular. But they're going to pay them to kind of just sit around. I think it's going to have like a Zoom type atmosphere where they're just going to sit around. I don't even know if they'll be in the same damn city. So the two of them might be sitting in two different rooms on Zoom, so to speak, and they'll be broadcasting, talking the football game, but it won't be a traditional broadcast. So there you go. The other news in broadcasting, Drew Brees has said that he is ready to move on to a second career and wants to be an NFL broadcaster. So we'll see what happens with that. He doesn't say necessarily whether or not he wants to be a color commentator at the actual ball games or if he just wants to sit in a studio. But we'll see what happens with that. I'm sure Drew Brees will get any opportunity that he gets. How good he'll be, I don't know. I've never listened to Drew Brees talk that much. He's always been pleasant, but it's a different world when you get in there and you have to perform every week on the stage. So we'll see what happens, but I'm sure someone's going to give him an opportunity because he is a popular player. So Drew Brees looking to get into the broadcast game. All right, other things going on in the world of sports. The Olympics, they are saying that the organizing committee chief is saying he would not rule out the cancellation of the Olympics the last minute. So the chief of the Tokyo Olympics says on Tuesday night that he would not rule out, even though he's going to lose major sponsors if this happens, but he said that he would not rule it out. Now, I think they're blowing this out of proportion because they're referencing COVID-19 cases rising in Tokyo, but they've already said that they're not going to have the fans in the stands. So what are we talking about? And I don't think this is going to be a thing. I really believe Tokyo wants to get it off. They want to have it. They're not going to have fans in the stands, and that's a bummer for the people of Japan not being able to go. Those of us who were never planning on going all the way to Japan to watch badminton or field hockey or whatever don't really care, but it's a bummer, and it's going to have a haunting, weird feeling watching the Olympics without any kind of fans, because that's one of the coolest parts about the Olympics, right? The opening ceremonies are going to be weird, which are set to take place here in a couple of days, because let's be honest, the opening ceremonies, the fans are always a part of that. So that's going to be weird, but that's the big news that keeps coming out. And you'll notice the 4-letter network is just keeps pumping it and pumping it and pumping it. It's because That's what they do. They think that the newsworthiness of COVID-19 cases spiking, they have an agenda. They always have. And so you'll continue to see it. But I don't believe that why would you bring the athletes this far over in the continent, right? They've flown for miles. Most of them, the majority of them are already there because you have to get accustomed to the time zone and everything, right? Most of them showed up early this week, late last week. Why would you go through all that and say, nah, we're not going to do it? So I hope for the athlete's sake it happens. I used to be a much bigger Olympic fan than what I am now, but some of that has to do with some of the stuff that is in all likelihood going to go on with the not wanting to do, not wanting to stand for the flag and all that kind of stuff. So that part's going to probably run off a lot of people. But for the athletes themselves, I hope it happens. I hope the games go on, not just for the American athletes, for the athletes all over the world. It's always a very fun thing to do is to watch the Olympics. Also, Adam Schefter tweeted out this morning, the Packers offered Aaron Rodgers a 2-year contract extension, and Rodgers declined that deal. So it tells you right now, when it's all said and done, Aaron Rodgers does not want to be a Green Bay Packer. And usually when this happens, they usually get out of it. The prima donnas, like Aaron Rodgers, when they want out, they usually get out. Now, you're also Rams. They don't have the power to do that, but Aaron Rodgers does. So we'll see where that goes. But that's the news on that today. A couple other things ahead of it. The Oakland City Council is voting for a proposed $12 billion development and ballpark plan today. So we'll find out if the Oakland A's will stay in Oakland. That has been a big thing. I think the A's probably don't want to stay in Oakland, to be honest with you. It's a city that's fallen apart. The fans don't come out and support the team. I think they'd much rather go to Vegas or somewhere. So we'll see where that goes. But that's where you got on that. So that's the big news on that. And now that we've done those 3 strikes, let's go ahead and get into the games of the day really, really quick. You've got some interesting games. If they're played, they're expecting rain again in Atlanta. So I don't know if this game gets played or not, but Darvish versus Mueller, Padres and Braves. That's a fun one. Grab a couple of others. Phillies, Yankees, Nola versus Domingo Germán. Germán's got to get it going. He has looked terrible this year. And Garrett Richards is going up against Hatch of the Blue Jays. Boston rolled yesterday, and they'll try to do the same. The Mets are at the Reds. That was a 15-11 ball game. Wade Miley on the mound for the Reds versus a kid named Stock for the Mets as a 7.88 ERA. And then Cubs Cardinals, that's tonight. And you'll have Williams versus to be determined. The Cubs have not announced. Could be a bullpen game, and that game should be on the MLB network tonight. And then late tonight, your MLB free game of the day, as they call it, where you can go on the app and watch any game for free. The Giants and Dodgers once again tonight. Alex Wood on the mound for the San Francisco Giants. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. Take yourself out to the ball game today. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Take me out to the ball.